Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Does Drew have a brain tumor, a medical explanation for his bad character changes? According to General Hospital spoilers, there could be a cause for Drew Quartermain's unusual conduct in recent months. Does Drew have a brain tumor, or is there another medical explanation for his significant character changes? It would not be the first time a soap opera used a brain tumor to explain why a character completely went off the track. If Drew's behavior becomes even more erratic and he attempts to eliminate someone, it might pave the way for a major revelation regarding his condition. Even if Drew doesn't have a brain tumor, there could be another medical explanation for his conduct. Some supporters believe Drew may suffer a brain impairment as a result of his beating in prison. Of course, Drew's unusual behavior could be the result of another health issue. The GH writers could be working on an unexpected diagnosis to explain Drew's evil transformation and all of his frightening acts. It never made sense to send Drew down such a dark path, but everything could be explained in the end. If there is a medical explanation for Drew's behavior, it is possible that he has no control over it. Depending on how things progress, Drew may be able to receive treatment and eventually return to his old self. There have been some signs in the speech that Drew may face a horrible fate, but he is not yet dead. That means there's still time to erase Drew's mistakes and get him back on track. The show still has an opportunity to rehabilitate Drew and keep him around, especially if he's turned into a complete jerk as a result of a brain problem or similar treatable physical ailment. Regardless, Drew has made a lot of enemies and bad mistakes lately, so it will be interesting to see what the future holds for him. According to General Hospital spoilers, some major Drew news is on the way, so stay tuned for updates on all the twists and turns. Carly's breakup alert, Valentine's outcome. Carly Spencer will receive a breakup alert while Valentine Cassidy's result is revealed. Sonny Corinthos will also engage in questionable behavior, so here's what GH fans may expect. For begin, Felicia Scorpio will drop by Carly's hospital room and try to persuade her that Jack Brennan is terrible news. Felicia will warn that further instances may occur after Carly nearly died as a result of the poison plot against Brennan. Felicia believes that Carly's greatest option is to break from Brennan and stay alive. Felicia will expose Carly to the danger she is still in and hope she would agree to end things. Despite Felicia's plea, Carly is unlikely to abandon Brennan and the spark they have discovered. Next, Anna Devane will have a furious argument with Jason Morgan, who will try to stop her from saving Valentine's life. Jason appears to be pushing Anna to simply allow Brennan to perform his job. That is especially true since Jason does not want Anna to put herself in danger. However, Anna will lose her cool and grow terrified over Valentine's impending doom. Regardless of Valentine's sins, Anna does not want Brennan to erase him from the map forever. Unfortunately, it is exactly what Brennan intends to do at this point. Brennan just leveled his rifle at Valentine on the dock, and it appears like he will pull the trigger as soon as he bids Valentine farewell. Is Valentine doomed, or can a soapy curveball save him? It will be intriguing to watch whether Brennan truly eliminates him or whether Valentine uses another of his 9 lives. Sonny will meet with Laura Collins, which should lead to discussions regarding Valentine and possibly Jen Sidwell. Laura will be wary of Sonny if he claims that her influence is preventing him from causing problems. Sonny normally does whatever he wants, so Laura may believe he has some secret plans in the works. Speaking of secrets, Brooklyn Quartermain will be concerned that Lois and Gloria Cerullo are still withholding information about her adopted child. Lois will be on the hot seat, so she will attempt not to let Brooklyn know anything about Giovanni Gio Palmieri's true parentage. Across town, Lulu Spencer will get an unexpected guest, and the reason for his arrival will be even more startling. Harrison Chase will pop by to clear things up with Lulu. Chase will make it plain that when it comes to Brooklyn's history, Lulu must butt out. Chase may not be fully sold on keeping Dante Falconeri in the dark about his child, but he may believe Brooklyn knows best. Whatever the situation, Chase may tell Lulu that this is not her secret to reveal. Chase appears to be making a prediction about his family's future and will not allow Lulu to jeopardize it. According to General Hospital spoilers, some exciting Chase and Lulu scenes are on the way, so stay tuned for more updates on the tension. General Hospital spoilers, do Carly and Sonny belong together? GH fans react to the ex's emotional scenes. General Hospital spoilers hint that we must address a critical issue about the future of some ex-lovers. Do Carly Spencer and Sonny Corinthos belong together? On social media, GH viewers are reacting to the ex's poignant scenes from the March 19th episode. Were those scenes evidence that maybe Carly and Sonny are still meant to be? When Sonny learned that Carly had been brought to the hospital, he ran to her bedside. Carly smiled sweetly as Sonny wondered what she'd gotten herself into. Later, Sonny choked up as he reminisced on how he never wanted to receive another call like that. During the vehicle trip over, Sonny expressed to worried what the kids would do without Carly. "And I start worrying about what I'm going to do without you," Sonny continued, before Carly grabbed his hand and insisted he wouldn't let her go so simply. Of course, Carly and Sonny's past and children will keep them together forever. Sonny and Carly have an undeniable love, but is it platonic or something more? Some viewers saw the scenes as a heartfelt approach to underscore Carly and Sonny's eternal bond. You may argue that it was simply a reminder of the permanent link rather than a future reunion arrangement. However, other viewers read those scenes differently and now believe Sonny and Carly will have another romantic chapter. These beautiful Carly and Sonny moments did not damage their prospects of a reunion if the GH writers ever decide to return. Sonny and Carly have a propensity for finding their way back to each other, so it's not impossible that they'll reunite at some time. It's apparent that Sonny has significantly stronger feelings for Carly than he has for Natalia Ramirez or practically any other woman who may enter his life. Carly is currently with Jack Brennan, but the show has the potential to break them up. Brennan definitely adds a new element of danger to Carly's life, and he's holding some huge secrets about Jocelyn Jacks that could eventually turn her against him. Carly may turn to Sonny when she is heartbroken. Whatever the situation, many fans are cheering for Carly to reunite with Sonny and predicting a happy ending. According to General Hospital spoilers, some love surprises and shakeups are still in store for Port Charles, so stay tuned for any interesting developments. Josh Swickard on Chase's reaction to GH's baby bombshells. You have to feel awful for poor Harrison Chase on General Hospital. First, he realized he was infertile and couldn't give his new wife, Brooke Lynn, the kid she desired. Then she admitted that she had already had a baby as a teenager, which she had given up for adoption. Unfortunately, that was followed by the shocking revelation that the baby's father was none other than Dante, Chase's close friend and police partner. Chase is dealing with a lot, frankly, and is just trying to keep his head above water, Josh Swickard told Woman's World of his alter ego's current crisis. However, as GH watchers are well aware, Chase is a decent person, a truly good guy, and will most likely do the right thing despite the extreme circumstances. And his portrayer would not have it any other way. Chase is just wildly understanding, and I love that, Swickard exclaimed. Eddie is stoic and steadfast. It doesn't matter what life throws at him, he can take a deep breath, talk it out, and come out the other side calmly and hopefully maturely. There's something noble about that. He's just got this manner of being a husband that I strive to as Josh, and it's fantastic to see it in a soap character we're all watching. Chase and Brooke Lynn appeared to be an unusual couple at first, but it quickly became evident that they were simply proving the old adage that opposites attract. They kind of butted heads at first, but Chase is mesmerized by her, Swickard added. She's quite powerful and willful. She is everything he is not, and vice versa, thus they have a good connection. There's something so wonderful in that dichotomy. Of course, Chase's good nature will be put to the ultimate test when the last bombshell lands and he and Brooke Lynn discover that her and Dante's son is none other than Gio, who has been living with them at the Quartermain estate for nearly a year. Could that be the final straw? Stay tuned to see how it all plays out, and leave your guesses in the comments section. Dex, Shiloh, and 3 more General Hospital characters who should not be dead. There is no chance these characters are truly dead. There have been too many favorite deaths on General Hospital in recent years, or should we say deaths? Here are 5 GH characters who definitely should not be dead. Dex was the most recent and horrific fatality in Port Charles. Despite survived being hung from a meat hook, beaten by Sonny, and shot in a warehouse, Dex died from digitalis at Cyrus's hands. While his death influenced Jocelyn's recent decisions, it had previously happened to Joss, but this time to a character with a lot of potential for future storylines. It appears improbable that Dex's death was staged, given that his killer was also executed, yet, if he were still alive, he would be surprised to learn that his girlfriend had joined the WSB. Sam's death shocked everyone, including the characters, spectators, and cast. When Sam's death was hinted at, no one anticipated her to be another victim of Cyrus. Days of Our Lives may benefit from some of Dr. Rolf's serum right now, as killing off characters like Dex and Sam has not gone over well. Sam's death altered the lives of half of Port Charles's residents, and the only way to set things right for Christina, Danny, and Alexis was to bring her back from the grave. Who knows, maybe Cyrus killed Livy Locke. Shiloh could be referred to as a cult leader, Willow's baby daddy, or David Henry Archer. After recruiting Port Charles's most vulnerable into Dawn of Day, he was eventually apprehended while pursuing an undercover Sam. But if that wasn't enough, instead of answering for his crimes, Sam fired him with a flare gun, causing him to explode. But why do we desire him to have survived the attack? Fans have speculated that Drew's weird and downright wicked behavior recently stems from him switching places with Shiloh. In a community where anyone may have masks created of anyone, everything is conceivable, and it is, quite frankly, the only way to redeem a once-adored character. Spencer is certainly not dead, given that no body has been located and that Spryna has some devoted supporters. The question is, when will the legacy character return, and who will play him? With Chavez's popularity growing, the character will very certainly need to be recast, and this will most likely happen just before Trina and Kai make their relationship public. Luke is the last but not least of Port Charles's residents. Luke, the ultimate GH legend, was claimed to have perished in a train catastrophe in 2022, which was hard to believe. How did the man who saved the planet from freezing over die? It would not be the first time Luke has been taken captive somewhere far from Port Charles, most likely by the Cassidines. Geary retired from acting in 2015, but he did reprise his legendary role for one episode in 2017 and may do so again now that Lucky is back in town. Carly Spencer was captivated to Jack Brennan, the enigmatic WSB leader who had flawlessly blended himself into her life. His charm, his obvious concern for her well-being, everything about him felt like the perfect distraction at the appropriate time. But underlying his polished persona was something far more deadly, which Carly was unaware of. While she was busy getting to know him, Jack was manipulating events behind the scenes, spinning a web that had entangled her daughter, Jocelyn Jax, in a perilous game of espionage. Jack hadn't been a bystander in Jocelyn's trip. He had been an architect, shaping her path and influencing her decisions without her realizing the scope of his impact. What had appeared to be mentorship had turned into something much darker, a planned effort to shape her into a weapon for his own goal. And now the question arose, would Joss see the truth in time to save her mother from another tragic heartbreak? There had been warnings, whispered concerns that Carly dismissed. Jason Morgan had been among the first to warn Kate, encouraging her to keep her distance from Jack when he set off on his mission with Police Commissioner Anna Devane. But Carly, ever the stubborn force, opted to rely on Jack instead. Even Anna had raised a red signal, but Carly would not listen. Why should she listen to others when Jack has been so steady in his support? However, the warning flags were becoming increasingly obvious. And if anybody could break Carly's delusions, it was Joss. For months, Joss had trusted, or at least tolerated, Jack's presence. She had followed his lead, taken his advice, and fallen right into a trap. He had duped her into embarking on a fact-finding trip, luring her into Cyrus Renault's remote cabin under the pretense of gathering intelligence. But Joss had started to question everything. Why did Jack send her there? Why had he taken such a personal interest in her destiny, leading her to the WSB? The knowledge hit her hard. She hadn't been chosen only for her skills, she had been targeted. As she pieced together the whole picture, Joss was confronted with an unthinkable decision. Exposing Jack would reveal everything, her training, objective, and the perilous world she had willfully entered. It has the potential to permanently alter her mother's perception of her. But if she remained silent, she risked allowing Carly to slip deeper into Jack's trap. Carly, on the other hand, was not a person who remained blind for long. When the truth finally came out, she had only one person to turn to, Sonny Corinthos. Carly had once sought consolation in Jason, but Jason was not one for retribution. Sonny, on the other hand, flourished off it. Jack Brennan had played his games, but Sonny would not let anybody use Carly, or her daughter, for personal advantage. The betrayal had become personal, and Sonny had never allowed a betrayal go unanswered. With Jack's lies unraveling and the storm gathering, one question remained: would this be the moment that drew Carly back into Sonny's embrace? Will Jack's deception pave the stage for their long-awaited reunion? One thing was certain: Jack had underestimated them both. And he was about to realize that messing with Carly Spencer and her family has unexpected consequences. Will Jack kill Valentine? Today's General Hospital spoilers show that Valentine's life is on the line. Brooklyn wants to know what else Lois is concealing. Chase has a serious chat with Lulu. Laura detects a difference in Sonny. Felicia attempts to influence Carly's viewpoint, and Brennan holds Valentine at gunpoint as Anna hurries to prevent him from killing the Cassadine. Brooklyn has been reeling since discovering that her grandmother was also involved in arranging the adoption of the baby she gave up as a teen, and she now wants to ensure that there are no additional surprises in store. "What other secrets are you two keeping from me?" she asks, making Lois cringe. Another surprising secret awaits, and it's a big one. Chase pays Lulu a visit now that he knows Dante is the father of the son Brooklyn abandoned, to ensure that everyone is on the same page. "This isn't about protecting your family," he says. "It's about protecting mine." Laura is surprised when Sonny agrees to listen to reason. "My influence has never stopped you before," she tells me. "So, Sonny, what has changed? Will he open up about his health issues?" Carly is recovering from polonium poisoning in the hospital when Felicia enters her room, but she is definitely not acting professionally as a patient advocate. "End things," she tells Carly, "before it's too late." Carly isn't new to dating men who endanger her life. Brennan intercepts Valentine and holds him at gunpoint after learning that he was planning to flee to the docks. "Goodbye, old friend," he says coolly. Sonny told Jason to make sure Jack finished the job, while Anna is running to the location to save Valentine's life. "Let me go!" she shouts at Jason. When the dust settles, who will come out on top? Is General Hospital teasing an All My Children reboot? General Hospital spoilers claim that the soap has recently featured numerous All My Children references. One that happened this week has fans buzzing. Are these all just enjoyable Easter eggs for viewers to eat, or is there more to it? The AMC Easter eggs. The AMC references in Port Charles date back to August 2023, when Walt Wiley returned to the soap as his AMC character, Jackson Montgomery. In 2024, GH viewers heard the name of AMC's popular character, Erica Kane, mentioned several times, and more recently, Valentine Cassadine reminded fans of his former AMC role when rummaging through his old house, looking for documents, when Sonny Corinthos halted him in his tracks. Sonny now owns Valentine's home and everything inside it. Fortunately, the fleeing thief wriggled his way out of the difficult scenario. Nonetheless, he is currently living on borrowed time. Regardless, when sorting through old paperwork, Valentine came upon several old passports. One for Will Cortland and one for Charlotte Cassadine, both under the name Melanie Cortland. Will was Valentine's AMC character, while Melanie was his sister, played by Paige Turco. Is ABC testing the waters? General Hospital fans have been buzzing with the AMC references, and it's hard not to wonder if this is done for fun or to test the waters. After all, with Beyond the Gates recently joining CBS's daytime drama roster, the notion that soap operas are making a comeback is a serious possibility. Rather than developing a new premise, ABC producers could see the advantages in building on an established base. Many fans of Pine Valley and All My Children yearn for a return, so might a reboot be in the works? With all the recent AMC references on General Hospital, is ABC hinting toward a reboot? Would you like to see the soap return? Please share your ideas below. Jen Sidwell's unexpected interest in Windmere and Spoon Island raised eyebrows across Port Charles, but the true mystery resided in the treasure he possessed, Mikos Cassadine's knife. The blade, a treasure steeped in Cassadine history, had been presumed lost, but now it was in the hands of a guy with no apparent ties to the infamous family. Or so it appeared. As rumors circulated about his genuine intentions, one name kept coming up: Alexis Davis. Why did Sidwell seem so interested in her? Was his obsession with her purely personal, or did he have a deeper, more deliberate rationale for his actions? Perhaps the explanation lies with his ex-wife, Natalia Ramirez. On the surface, Natalia's past appeared straightforward. She had spent years in Puerto Rico, a location Sonny Corinthos was familiar with. But what if this isn't totally true? What if, instead, she had previously called Brazil home? Dimitri, a Cassadine cousin, appeared in Port Charles several decades ago. Dimitri lacked the riches and influence of his more influential relatives, but that didn't stop him from building a name for himself. He had joined forces with Sean Dunley and the Quartermaine family, only to betray them in dramatic way. Dimitri had sucked off the Quartermaine riches through meticulously planned deception and left without a trace. His rumored destination had been Brazil. Years later, a man with no clear link to the Cassadines emerged, intent on discovering Windermere's secrets. Could Jens Sidwell be Dimitri Cassadine, resurrected under a new name? He avoided Tracy Quartermaine, which was telling. She, more than anybody else, would remember the carnage Dimitri had caused. Instead, he gravitated toward Drew Quartermaine, a man who, like him, had been abandoned by his own family. Was it a coincidence, or was Sidwell deliberately associating himself with someone who understood what it was like to be rejected by the heritage that should have been his? Another puzzle was the dagger's travels throughout history. It had long been connected with the Cassadine family's most violent members, as witnessed most recently when Julian Jerome used it against Alexis. Helena had previously used it to threaten Alexis, and Victor's return had further obscured the blade's whereabouts. With Julian and Helena gone, the question remained: how did the dagger wind up in Sidwell's possession? If Sidwell was Dimitri, he must have been watching. Observing. Calculating. For years, he had tracked the Cassadines' travels, waiting for the ideal moment to reappear. And now, with Windermere under his command and Alexis within his grasp, the pieces were falling into place. But, what did he want? Was his homecoming motivated by vengeance, a long-held resentment against the Quartermaines and Cassadines? Or was he playing a much longer game, one that Port Charles had yet to completely comprehend? One thing was certain: Jens Sidwell was more than just a businessman with a passing interest in Windermere. He was a guy with a past, and the town had only begun to discover the extent of his lie. Tracy threatens, Brennan retaliates, and Valentine Grimm issues a warning. The upcoming GH episode promises a flurry of action, a surge in dramatic tension, and the sour taste of vengeance. Tracy Quartermaine threatens Drew Kane Quartermaine. Jack Brennan promises to seek justice. Additionally, Valentine Cassadine has a warning for Laura Collins. Nina Reeves' proposition. Let's start with Nina. While Willow Tate Corinthos continues to attack on Drew, Nina is busy preventing her daughter from making a huge mistake. Nina attempts again to convince the nurse that Drew is terrible news. However, what will Willow reply when Nina makes a proposition? Will this help protect Willow and the kids, or will it make matters worse? Laura Collins is warned by Valentine after her encounter with the mayor. The fugitive had just left Sonny Corinthos, yet his life was spared. Valentine's next meeting will be with Laura Collins. While they will talk about Charlotte Cassadine, there will also be a caution. Val informs the mayor that she has to know who and what she's up against. The General Hospital spoilers for today's episode state that Brennan will be on the warpath. Thankful that Carly Spencer's life was saved in time, he is now on a new quest. The WSB boss will look for the individual responsible for Carly's near-fatal champagne poisoning. In the preview, she asks Jack where he is going. That's when he says, "Make sure nothing like this happens again." Brennan has a determined look on his face, indicating that he means business. Meanwhile, Sonny Corinthos instructs Jason Morgan to ensure that Brennan completes the task. This might lead to Sonny and Brennan joining forces, which would be an intriguing twist for these characters. Tracy and Drew face off again in the promo clip. They look to be in the Quartermaine mansion. Tracy confronts the grinning congressman, warning him that if he tries to match wits with her, he would lose every time. Nina makes another heartfelt plea to her daughter while in the hospital. However, when Nina tells Willow she should reconsider moving in with Drew, her defenses may rise. Could Nina, on the other hand, make a proposal that Willow simply cannot refuse? Drew Quartermain's transition from hero to manipulator had been gradual, but for those paying attention, the metamorphosis was apparent. Willow Corinthos had lost sight of the man she once admired, his acts marred by duplicity, selfishness, and an insatiable desire for power. Willow's revelation would come gradually, like the unwinding of a finely braided thread. She had repeatedly supported Drew, ignoring the obvious red signals that others had witnessed. Willow had ignored Carly Spencer's warnings, refusing to consider the possibility that the guy she trusted could be capable of such betrayal. But trust tended to crumble under the weight of secrets, and Drew's were piling up quicker than he could contain them. His decision to lie for Jason Morgan was the first indication that his moral compass was off. Willow had stood by him at the moment, unwilling to accept Drew's actions as anything more than a misplaced act of loyalty. But the truth has a way of surfacing, and when Willow discovered the entire extent of Drew's deception, her faith in him was shattered. However, that was only the beginning. Drew's involvement with Portia Robinson, blackmailing her under the premise of a deal with Selena Wu, created an even more sinister picture. He was no longer the man who once fought for justice, he had evolved into a man who thrived in the shadows, using others as pawns to attain his own goals. But maybe the most heartbreaking betrayal of all was the one Drew had kept hidden the longest, his past with Nina Reeves. It was a truth capable of destroying not only his relationship with Willow, but also everything in its path. If Willow found the affair on her own, she would be devastated. However, if Drew, in a fit of rage, used it as a weapon to harm her, the damage would be permanent. And that was precisely the type of man he had become. Drew would not let Willow slip away unscathed. He'd lash out, not in rage, but with malice. A single, venomous statement intended to strike at the heart of her suffering. "Your mom was better in bed." 6 words. 6 carefully selected words that would pierce deeper than any betrayal before them. It would not only be an attack on Willow, but also on Nina, a calculated attempt to draw her down with him as he went deeper into his own darkness. Willow's disclosure would not only reveal Drew's actual nature, but also her own misjudgment, the terrible realization that she had placed her faith in someone who never deserved it. Brennan's fatal goodbye to Valentine. Anna rages against Jason. Jack Brennan will say his final goodbye to Valentine Cassadine, while Anna Devane rages against Jason Morgan. Carly Spencer will also receive some dire counsel, so let's discuss what's next on the ABC soap. First, Brooklyn Quartermain will grill Lois Cerullo again. Brooklyn will demand to know what more secrets Lois and Gloria Cerullo are holding from her, as they have always known more about her kid than she did. Naturally, Lois refuses to acknowledge Giovanni Gio Palmieri as Brooklyn and Dante Falconeri's adult son. Lois will continue to keep Brooklyn in the dark about potentially life-changing news. Meanwhile, Harrison Chase will appear to see Lulu Spencer, and she may believe this is to offer protection following Valentine Cassadine's visit to Laura Collins' home. Nonetheless, Chase will explain that this visit is not about safeguarding Lulu's family, but about defending his own. Chase was upset that Brooklyn had to learn the gender of her kid via Lulu, and he now considers her a blabbermouth in general. Although Chase believes Dante needs to know that he has another child, he will reportedly respect Brooklyn's wishes to keep this private, and he expects Lulu to do the same. While Chase confronts Lulu and shocks her, Sonny Corinthos will meet up with Laura. That should spark a conversation about all the Valentine drama before Laura poses an intriguing question. "Sonny, my influence has never stopped you before, so what has changed?" Laura asks in the promo video. Laura may be startled by Sonny's calm demeanor, given that in the past he would have gone out hunting Valentine down. Of course, Sonny has it covered because he directed spiteful Brennan in the correct direction and told Jason to finish the job if necessary. Felicia Scorpio on GH would believe Carly's poisoning ordeal should serve as a wake-up call. Carly's link to Brennan has put her in terrible danger, so Felicia will tell her to terminate things before it's too late. Other General Hospital spoilers state that Brennan will say his goodbyes to Valentine on the pier. Brennan appears to pull the trigger after saying farewell to his old friend, at least from what the preview footage shows. Will Brennan fire at Valentine? Will Valentine meet a horrible fate, or is there a life-saving twist in the works? Whatever the case, Anna will square off with Jason on the show, so he'll grab her arm to save her from being tied up in all the Brennan and Valentine craziness. That will make Anna's rage flare, and she will angrily command Jason to leave her go. However, Jason may reveal the truth about the situation and claim that Valentine has made himself a fatal target. Valentine has boxed himself into a corner, so Jason may make a dire forecast and convince Anna to remain clear of the danger that is about to erupt. General Hospital spoilers indicate that some stunning moments are on the road, so keep an eye out for more on Valentine's predicament. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.